Today we're going to talk about 4 different stories that you can be sharing in your church or your ministry that will help you be effective in communicating life change that's happening in your church or in your ministry. Hey heroes, I'm Tom Pounder and this is the Digital in 5 show. This is the show where I take 5 minutes to talk about digital tools or trends that are happening around the world and apply it into our ministry context. Now, we all know that sharing stories via video or even in pictures is really important to communicate life change that's happening in your church or ministry. It's so important. And one of the most popular ones is to share your testimony story. What God has brought you from death to life, how God has dramatically changed your life. And those are really powerful stories. But those aren't the only stories that you can be sharing. In fact, I would challenge you to think outside the box now. What are the other stories that you can be sharing? I would love to hear your feedback on this right now. So if you want to hit in the comment section, I would love to hear what stories you're sharing in your church or your ministry. I'm going to share 4 other stories that you can be sharing that can lead to dramatic impact. The first thing you can be sharing are stories about why you serve. Okay, these are stories about volunteers who've chosen to serve in your church or your ministry. And just ask them the simple question, why do they serve? What was it that caused them to want to serve in this particular ministry or in the church? What was it that made them want to do that? And the benefit that they're seeing, not just in their own lives, but in the lives of other people. These are great stories. In fact, then you can use these stories to say a call to action, to say, hey, if you want to serve in this ministry, contact this person. Or if you want to see all the service opportunities in our church, go to yada 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 /serve on the website. It's a great opportunity for you to call people to serve. It's a very powerful testimonial that will be important to increasing the number of people who are serving in your church. The second one you can share is why you got involved in a life group or a small group or a Bible study. These are really important stories to be sharing because we all know that when things get busy and things get hectic and things get tough in life, it's great to have people around you to support you and encourage you. Life groups are great opportunities for you to share life together and learn more about Jesus together. We've seen so many people's lives be changed because they simply got involved in a life group or a small group before. And so my encouragement for you is to go to different life groups and ask them to share about why they got involved in that particular life group and how someone else might get involved in a life group. Again, you're going to do a call to action. You're going to share the powerful story and how God has used that life group or small group to help them, and then call them to say, if you want to get involved in a life group, this is how you do it. So a life group story and why someone's got involved there is a great opportunity for you to share video content for your church or your ministry. The third one that you can share is a giving story. Why you chose to give today, or why you're giving to the church. Again, we all know that giving is a spiritual act of worship, and it's awkward for pastors to get up there and share about giving. Hey, you should give, you should tithe, because it feels like we're begging for money. But the reality is, if you have someone in your congregation who can share about why they've chosen to give and how they've been blessed by that, that is a powerful way for someone to share and for other people maybe to give as well. Again, these are awkward ones to do because you don't want to be begging for people to give, but to see lives be changed and transformed because of the way they're giving now is a really powerful video piece of content that you can share in your church or your ministry. And the fourth one is to share about mission trips and how a mission trip has positively impacted them. In fact, actually, my life was changed dramatically because of a mission trip that I went on before I fully committed to Christ. I had become a believer, but because I went on this particular mission trip, my faith grew substantially. I came back a different person, and I got to share that at different times. Now, this was back in the day before video was really popular, but I got to share that in person. I got to share that over audio, and people came up to me and said how much of an impact it made in their life and how now they want to go on a mission trip or experience a trip like that. When you share about the positive impact a mission trip does for you, it really causes people to want to go. Mission trips are faith stretchers, and it's a great opportunity for you to share and invite people to be a part of these life-changing trips. So those are the 4 things that I've identified as ways that you can be stretching beyond the what's your story video content that a lot of churches do. So there's lots of other ones as well. So if you've got content, as I mentioned earlier in the video or the audio, hit it in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love to live on Twitter, so if you just tag me at @TAPounder on Twitter and share with me about the video content you guys are sharing in your church or your ministry. I would love to hear that today. It would be great, and we can continue this conversation on more. All right, here's where that wraps it up for today. As always, if you enjoyed this podcast or this video, whatever one you're listening to, go to iTunes and Spotify to subscribe to the audio version, but also you can go to YouTube and subscribe to it there. You can find all my content, including the content about Digital Bootcamp Facebook group that we have started, and we're learning digital tools to expand our reach. You can go to ymsidekick.com. There I've got all that content, and you can just click away. I would love for you to get involved in some way. All right, heroes, well, thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, have a great one.